If our sun were to suddenly vanish right now, it would take you 8 minutes to notice the darkness descend. This 8 minutes is the time light takes to travel 150 million kilometers. To us, this is a vast, long distance, almost impossible to cross. But for the main character of our story today, this 150 million kilometers isn't even the diameter of one atomic nucleus within it. Please close your eyes, take a deep breath, and we will force the scale of our thinking to its absolute limit to touch that abyss located in the direction of the constellation Canes Venatici, 10.4 billion light-years away from us. Its name is a single, chilling designation, TON 618. This isn't just a celestial body. It's a boundary where the laws of physics break down. The most massive black hole known in the universe. A gravitational monster that makes the entire Milky Way look like a mere speck of dust. So, let's fire up the engines and head into the dark abyss. Our familiar sun accounts for 99.86% of the mass in the entire solar system. It's so huge you could fit 1.3 million Earths inside it. However, to create TON 618, we would need to collect 66 billion suns from the cosmos. Note, not 660, not 66 million, but 66 billion. If we were to line up these 66 billion suns end to end, this wall of light would stretch 920 billion kilometers. The distance light travels continuously for 35 days in a vacuum. And this is merely the raw material composing this black hole. To grasp this number more visually, if we liken the Earth to a single grain of sand, the sun would be a massive bowling ball. The mass of TON 618 would be equivalent to a towering mountain, far surpassing Mount Everest, built from 66 billion bowling balls. This mass isn't just a pile of numbers. It means that space itself is fragile like thin paper in its presence. With a concept of its mass, we can now measure its volume. A black hole size is typically defined by its Schwarzschild radius Shutterstock, the boundary from which not even light can escape. Let's return to our familiar home, the solar system. Voyager 1, the farthest traveling probe in human history, has journeyed over 40 years in its solitary flight, covering 23 billion kilometers, just touching the edge of the heliosphere. This represents the limit of human civilization's reach. Yet, if we place the center of TON 618 at the position of our sun, Voyager 1 would not even have flown out of the black hole's core region yet. In fact, TON 618's Schwarzschild radius is approximately 190 billion kilometers, or 1,300 astronomical units. This means it would take a full week for light to travel from one side of the black hole to the other. Inside this black hole's belly, you could easily fit nearly 1,300 Earth-to-Sun distances side by side. Our entire solar system, in its presence, is like an almost invisible plate casually discarded in the center of a gigantic banquet hall. Perhaps you'd say the solar system is too small, so let's find a big comparison. Remember that world-famous first photograph of a black hole captured by humanity? The supermassive black hole at the center of the M87 galaxy. It was described as a gigantic orange donut, with a mass 6.5 billion times that of the Sun. Incredible at the time. But if we put the M87 black hole next to TON 618, the situation becomes quite comical. M87 would look like a coin placed next to a huge circular dining table. TON 618's mass is more than 10 times that of M87. If these two black holes were to meet, M87 wouldn't even qualify as TON 618's opponent. It would be instantly swallowed like a small pebble tossed into a pond, perhaps without even creating a ripple. Any black hole is incredibly minuscule next to TON 618. A huge paradox exists here. Black holes should be the darkest objects in the universe, where not even light can escape. Yet TON 618 is one of the brightest celestial bodies in the universe. This sounds contradictory, but it's true, because it's not just a black hole, it's a quasar. Because its gravity is so staggering, surrounding gas, dust, and even entire galaxies form a colossal accretion disk before plunging into this bottomless pit. These materials rub and collide in an extremely crowded space, reaching speeds close to that of light and temperatures skyrocketing to millions of degrees, thereby releasing astonishing energy. TON 618's luminosity is equivalent to the combined light of 140 trillion suns. Note, trillion. This means that even though it is 10.4 billion light-years away from us, a distance at which any normal galaxy should be invisible, we can still see it shining deep in the cosmos with our telescopes. It acts like a lighthouse, illuminating a dark corner of the early universe, announcing the splendor of destruction. When we gaze at TON 618, we're not just seeing spatial enormity, but also a temporal displacement. Light takes time to travel, so what we're seeing now is it from 10.4 billion years ago. At that time, the Big Bang had only occurred 3.4 billion years prior. This presents a problem that keeps astronomers up at night. How could it have grown so fast? Where did it find so much material to feed on during the universe's infancy? According to conventional black hole accretion models, there's a speed limit to black hole growth, like having to eat bite by bite. If it eats too fast, radiation pressure blows the food away. But the existence of TON 618 shatters all this. It suggests that in the early universe, there might have been a direct collapse, mechanism we either don't fully understand, or that during those chaotic years, it devoured everything around it with an efficiency we find either incomprehensible or utterly terrifying. What would you experience if you piloted an indestructible spaceship toward TON 618 right now? You might think you'd be instantly stretched and torn apart like spaghetti. This is called tidal force, and it's usually fatal near small black holes. But counterintuitively, for a black hole as massive as TON 618, its event horizon is so far from the singularity that the rate of gravitational change at the edge of the horizon is actually very gentle. You might even cross that point of no return without noticing. You wouldn't feel pain, you wouldn't be torn apart, you would simply glide smoothly over an invisible line. During this process, as you look back at the universe, you'd find the star field behind you starting to distort, stars that were previously in front appearing to move to the side, and the darkness behind you dilating like a pupil. You would be smoothly sailing toward the eternal end. This is the ultimate horror. Death arrives not in the form of violence, but in a state of tranquility. Before crossing the event horizon, you would pass through a region known as the photon sphere. Here, gravity is so strong that light rays no longer travel in straight lines, but circle the black hole. If you look to your side, you might catch a familiar glimpse, the back of your own head, because the light reflected from you has circled the black hole and returned to your eyes. Here, you would see the entire history of the universe flash before you like a fast-forwarded movie, as light from all directions and all eras of the cosmos is gravitationally captured here. You would be standing at a kind of omniscient, godlike vantage point, enveloped in a sphere constructed of light. Below is absolute darkness, and above, distorted starlight. This is the final visual feast the universe has prepared for you, splendid and yet despairing. From a thermodynamic perspective, black holes are the universe's most efficient chaos creators, the maximum value of entropy. The entropy contained within TON 618 is billions of times greater than the total entropy of all other matter in the entire observable universe combined. This is a chilling philosophical implication. The ultimate goal of the universe seems to be the creation of black holes. The burning of stars, the evolution of galaxies, and even the birth of our lives might just be intermediate processes providing fuel for black holes. In the immensely distant future, when all stars have gone out and all galaxies have dispersed, all that will remain in the universe are these massive black holes evaporating alone in the dark. TON 618 stands like a tombstone erected by the cosmos, foretelling that all things will eventually return to silence and nothingness. It is the embodiment of destruction and the symbol of eternity. Facing TON 618, it's easy to feel a sense of nihilism. We live on an insignificant blue speck, orbiting an ordinary star, a star not even worthy of comparison to TON 618. Our lives span only a few decades, while it has existed for over 10 billion years and will continue to exist for an uncountable time. However, please don't despair because of this. Try to shift your perspective. It is we, these insignificant, carbon-based life forms composed of stardust, who have evolved brains capable of understanding that distant monster. We haven't been captured by its gravity, but we have captured it with the net of mathematics and physics. We are minuscule as dust before it, but our minds can traverse 10.4 billion light-years to touch the edge of that horizon. This, perhaps, is the meaning of human existence. We are the universe's way of perceiving itself. Even when facing the deepest abyss, we dare to gaze back,